All right, let's do this. Today is 30th of, no, it's not. Today is the Wednesday, June the 4th. And I got to drive out here to the supermarket to get some cash to put it in the bank so that before I get my electronic deposit set up. Trying not to get a copyright strike. So I am driving out to the supermarket today. The sun is shining. It's a beautiful day in America, at least. The sun is shining. And to all of our viewers and listeners from around the globe, good day to you. I am doing very well today. I hope you are as well. I'm looking at the news. The government still taking down websites, and ICE, I'm not really sure what ICE is doing, what their job actually is or is not supposed to be, but they're moving people around the country from one part of the country to another part of the country and to another part of the world. That's what ICE does. They pick people up and they move them to another part of the world, whether it's another part of the country or something. They just move them. And wherever they're at, it could be school, getting a driver's license, or maybe immigration court. And families will be out there, and they'll put one part of the family over here, and they'll put one part of the family over here, whatever. And so I see this in the news. This is troublesome to me. Also, it's troublesome to me with the talk about giving more and more seeding, if you will, more and more executive power to the presidency, or to the office of the president, which is troublesome enough. But now when it's invested in a person more than a function of an office or a role, or what a person might do when they sit in the office of the presidency. And I'll just tell it like it is. I will tell you what I see, and if I'm wrong, I will be glad to learn it. But it seems to me, it is this way. It seems to be that in our current, dare I call it, climate change, the changing of the climate, or of the way people are having conversations about political things. Used to be the price of eggs, or how many head of cattle you had, or whatever it was. I've got 2 shiny stones for 3 sharp sticks, whatever it was, however it went. But now the conversation is, or I'll hit you with these stones, or I'll hit you with these sticks, or I'll kill you, or you don't kill me first, whatever. This stuff has been going on forever. It's not like any of this is new or original. Nothing's new under the sun. And I'm not talking about civility or bullies. It's like, well, I got my feelings hurt, I need to save space. No, nothing like that. I'm talking about the way people are engrafted into, trying to think if this is the right word, have become part of. It's the cyborgification, if you will, or the cyborging. I'd rather call it the cyborgification, because I think I just came up with that word. But the cyborgification or the cyborging, or the cyborganizing of the world's population, from the birth, even from the time that a child is conceived, if you want to use that language, So from the time of being a zygote to the time of the tomb, and then even after, we live in the digital age now. You can go to a person's grave site, not even to say anything about what they might be able to do with the ashes and DNA replication and cloning with AI and software and algorithms. Don't even get me started on that. The nanotechnology. We may very well in the future, if the human race doesn't blow the earth up again, however many times that's happened, I don't know. But we may very well, or our children may very well, or their children may very well, or their grandchildren or whoever, our great-great-great-grandchildren may very well be seeing, or maybe them, maybe our children might be seeing, then we might be seeing living robots that are consciously and artificially intelligent, but to the point where they don't know that they're artificial. And they might look and feel and act like and even think they are your long dead grandmother or grandfather, or the 16th president of the United States, George Washington. Think about it. I want you to think about what I just said, right? Or the 17th vice president of the UN Council, right? Donald J. Trump. Think about that. I just want you to think. And our kids are being raised on incubators of digital, constant feeding and consuming. Take this phone, read this, use this app, learn how to post your thoughts, be an influencer, change the world. And all the while, the cyborgification of the human race is taking place. And you might say, well, no, I'm not being influenced. I'm influencing. I only spend 16 days on my phone because I have to be a voice for justice in the world. Yeah, you know what? Not only are you not being a voice for justice in the world, but you are also contributing to the cyborgification of the entire human race. Because with every click, with every swipe, with every whatever it is, you're becoming more and more that thing that you're engaging with. And you can just get the books. Look, you don't even need to get the books. Just search the books. And then when you see the books, read the description of the books, and then you decide. You don't even need to buy the books once you've read the description of the books. It's not about the money, friends. It's about getting the information out there. If you want a book, if you need to copy these books, you write me a letter and I'll get you a copy of the books. You do the work. You do the research. You search the books, and I will get you a copy of the books. At no charge to you, including shipping. But you need to search the books, right? Okay. Or you can get the AI version whenever it comes out, maybe. So, all along the way of the cyborgification, the cyborging or the cyborgifying of America, Mexico, and Canada, and France, however the countries are spread across the globe, and wherever you might be, and you're probably watching this on your phone right now, or your laptop. And if it's only your laptop, well, that's a little better, because it's somewhat of a proximal difference from the device, as in you're not touching it and you're not bowing down to it. You can get a kink in your neck. I had to stop using my phone in certain ways because I was starting to develop a kink in my neck from looking a certain way at my phone all the time, the same way, same direction all the time. I had to make a choice, either switch hands the way I was using it, or put my phone down and stop using it. So I decided to stop using the phone for a minute. And I feel much better. But then, of course, I read the news from a local vendor where I actually get a printed paper. And I know someone's going to say to me, and they have said to me, well, you know, you could just read it online and save paper. Well, yeah, but I could not save paper and not become part of the cyborgification of the human race. Come on now, listen. Come on now, I'm preaching, and you know it. Now look, I know I need a new catchphrase, and I tried to change it up a little bit. And normally I say it like this, come on now, I'm preaching, you know what? Yeah. And then I do a sniff afterwards. It's usually something like this. Come on now, I'm preaching, you know what? Yeah. But, and then I always say, yeah, I need a new catchphrase. Yeah, I'm looking for a new catchphrase and blah, blah, blah. But whatever. The point is, we're living in a different time, in a different world, in a different age. We're living in the digital age, dear friends. And in this time, dare I say it, of changing political systems, the way the structures even look, institutions is a better word. Systems might be a good way of putting it too. But the U.S. Constitution is still in place, but it seems that there is a focus by many religious people to almost act in a way, and I will say to, yes, definitely act in a way that is idol worship. It's a way that, the way I was raised, it looks like idol worship, where the people that are voting for a political candidate. Now look, the political candidate doesn't matter who this political candidate is. It comes up every year with every person, every group. Everybody goes overboard with their political candidate. But then after the candidate's either won or lost, people go back to living their normal life, and then the world goes on. And I'm only talking about being an American and a Christian and all this kind of stuff. But if you look at today's world in America, and this is how it's different than the way I grew up, and that's, oh, by the way, this is Christian Mukbang. Could you tell? Dry roasted peanuts. And I'm drinking a Polar Spring water. Actually, I filled this water up from the tap, so, and the government might be doing something good or bad. We'll see. I'll tell you in 20 years. Yeah, I plan on being around for a while. At least 120 years. But I'm not into worshiping human beings. And they'll say, well, no, it's like, okay, look, I get it. A president should be strong. And the president should have power to do things executively for various reasons. I agree with that. And the problem is coming into play is it looks like this. If I say I disagree, or anybody, I might say this, I disagree with anything. And then it becomes about the person that whose policy I disagree with. And I'll say, no, I disagree that Trump, I see Trump's the president right now, so I'll use him as an example. Oh, I disagree that Trump is he's a good president. Okay, there's a good one. I'll just cut it right like that. Let's say I said, hey, I disagree that Trump is a good president. And that can mean a lot of things. He's doing some good things. He's doing a lot of bad things. He's doing a lot of good things. He's doing some bad things. He had a good hair day. He had a bad hair day. I didn't like the color of the tie he wore. I didn't like the way he holds the Bible. I didn't like that he uses all caps. And then he sends out a message on X. No, I don't like that. Well, I don't like him. He's a bad president. Whatever. But there's good and bad in every person. As a president, you might say, well, Trump is a bad president. He's a terrible president. Okay, fair enough. I'll grant you, there are reasons to believe he's a terrible president. Just like there are reasons to believe that any president's a terrible president. And I will also grant you that it is fair to say he's a good president for a lot of reasons, to a lot of people. But I'm not going to say this makes this person a good man or a bad man or evil or good or whatever, or righteous or not righteous, filthy. Like, I'm talking about a pure soul or a filthy soul, something like that. An impure soul, whatever, however you regard that, whatever approach you have towards religion or purity of the soul or whatever it is. I'm not making any moral, framings of Trump or any president. What I'm saying is, every person that is the president is a human being, and they come with good and bad. And they're going to do good and bad things for a lot of reasons. Sometimes they're going to act in ways that are just above my ability to see into all the fray and what's going on. That's fine. I don't need to know what the president's doing. The president doesn't need my approval for everything whoever's sitting in that chair does. Whether it be your mom or your uncle or your aunt or your sister or your wife. It doesn't matter. What matters is everybody's got a way, everybody has a way to do their job. And everybody needs to be held in check in America. America's not about giving more power to the government, let alone more power, and especially more power to the executive branch. That's the last place the founders would want the power to go, is to the executive branch. And I'm talking about the document that we got. I'm not talking about all that other stuff. I know all about how there was a lot of fighting going on, and some people wanted the government to look this way, and other people wanted it to look that way. Well, now it looks like the Constitution, and within that framework, that rule book, that law, those laws, that's the law of the land. That's the Bible of Americans. And by the way, the Bible is not the Bible of Americans. The King James Bible is not the Bible of Americans. The U.S. Constitution is the Bible of Americans. And if you want to be an American, a good American, you need to know what the Constitution says, and never mind the Bible. Don't worry about the Bible. Read the Constitution and then read the Bible, or whatever other holy book you want to read. But it's not about what religion you are, and the government has no business, not even the ability to be able to tell you what religion you should follow or not follow, or how you should worship or not worship, let alone what is or is not a real Christian. So, no, I totally disagree with investing more and more and more into the executive branch for power, like signing executive orders. I think that's a little excessively put to use in our time with the executive orders. I know in times of great emergency they need to be done, signed and put into practice, implemented, enforced. But it's all about also having an opinion. And if I have an opinion, you have a different opinion, fine. But at some point, I think it's reasonable to expect, not even to expect, that's not what a word I want to use. I think it's reasonable at some point to See, as the normal conventional way that it's been done in America, that yes, we kind of expected it that it would continue to go this way, but oh no, it didn't. It's a new way of doing it, which is, well, now we question if people landed on the moon or if the votes were counted correctly, and now the FBI it's a deep state and they're replacing all the FBI people with other people. And you know, to me, I have an opinion. No, I don't think the government's being run well. And I think the government has been overtaken by, and it's being overrun by religious nuts. But that is my opinion. And if you have a different opinion than I have, fine. I will see you at the ballot box. I'll see you at the town hall meeting. I guess you will see me on my bumper sticker, or I'll see you on the internet. But it's becoming more and more and more and more and more, where this is everybody's full-time job, is to disagree with each other and to scream at each other and to yell at each other. All caps, no talk. It's just everybody is this way now. I'm this way. The world is, of course, convulsing always. Societies come, societies go, kings and queens, and all of this, as we know. Look, I've already said it. I'm not here to prove anything to anybody or make anybody think anything I want them to think, force them to think that way. Of course, I'd love everybody to come around and see it my way. So just get the books. Just buy the books, search the books, read the description of the books, or just watch these tapes. It's not about the money. It's about getting the information into the right hands. And the money, of course, is going to help keep the radio stations going, and the shirts and the tapes and the books and blah, blah, blah. But you need to go online and you need to search the books and you decide. There you go. But we live in a different time, in a different world, and I am concerned that we're starting to move into the direction of a surveillance state, if we're not there already. And I'm just trying to use language that's careful so as not to sound, it's the roof is on fire, but it is. I just want to catch it before the rest of it goes. And the president should be saying, and I'm talking about the president in general, and I'm talking to this president, President Trump. It doesn't matter who the president is. Right now it's President Donald J. Trump. President Trump needs to say this: I can't do this alone. I need the help of every single American. I'm not going to be right about everything. I'm not going to get it perfect on everything. I'm not an expert on everything. I am not going to be the savior of America. We're all going to do this together, and I need your help. And if I don't have your help, I'm not doing anything. I'm going to fail without you. And we are going to fail unless we do this together. But we're going to stick together, all of us. Republicans, Democrats, independents, non-believers, believers, Christians, Muslims, Jews, gay people, people that aren't gay, anyone that identifies as anything, if you're an American, whether you're queer, straight, whatever it is, don't identify, whatever, faith, no faith, atheist, American, whatever you are. If you call yourself a Mexican American, a hopscotching, Olympic traveling, book reading American, whatever you want to call yourself, it's the American thing that I'm trying to get across here that's the most important thing. And it's the Christian thing, as I'm now speaking as a Christian. Now I'm going to speak as a Christian. Now I'm talking as a Christian to Christians. That first part was just for all people, any Americans that were listening. But now this is only for Christians. And anybody else that wants to listen and pay attention to this. Listen to me, Christians, and anybody that's listening. If you're not lifting up the name of Jesus Christ, you're not being a Christian. If you're not putting Jesus Christ first in everything in word and deed, and doing everything that you do in the name of Jesus Christ in word and deed, then you're not being a Christian. That means that you're not being of Christ. You're not acting like you're from Christ, and you don't seem to demonstrate that you're belonging to Christ. Now, not according to the Bible. Maybe to somebody else, maybe according to the TV shows that you watch or whatever, maybe the books you're reading, but not according to the King James Bible. If you are of Christ and you are from Christ and you belong to Jesus Christ, you're going to be lifting up and magnifying Jesus Christ, not some weirdo that comes down an escalator or sits on a certain colored toilet. That's just the way it is. So if you're a Christian out there and you're putting human beings on a pedestal, whatever, because they have a certain color hair or skin or whatever, or they your favorite political candidate, or they're building walls, or deporting people, or defunding what you want them to deport or defund, or killing all these people over there, and whatever you wanted them to do, that's idol worship. And you need to repent, and you need to get washed in the blood of the Lamb. And that's all there is to it. And that's just all there is to it. And that's a message for Christians, especially all these weirdos out there. And now look, now here's the one about, to the task forcers. Oh, Lord have mercy. Listen, with the task force, there's a bunch of religious nuts out there. Okay, this is back to all Americans, but I'm also talking to the Christians, and I'm also talking to weirdo Christians. And either one, you know what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about all Christians. So yes, not all Christians. And not all plumbers, and not all cops, and not all painters, and not all NFL superstars or ex-NFL superstars. Just the weirdos. And you know which ones I'm talking about. Yeah, I'm talking to you. You know exactly who I'm talking about. I'm talking to you. You need to get washed in the blood of the Lamb. Yeah, that's right. And there's no reason to think that you should comment or try to comment. There's no way to comment here. I've disabled the comments because of all the Russian bots. Come on, now I'm preaching and you know it. Yeah. Man, I need a new catchphrase. Okay, that's it. I got nothing else to say on the matter except watch out for religious nuts and all these religious weirdos. They've taken over the government and they want to control you, starting with your kids, and they want to control me, starting with your kids. Come on now. Okay, now that's it. I'm going to leave you with these wise words from the powerful Jedi. The wise and powerful Jedi, Qui-gon Jinn, as these words were spoken by Qui-Gon to Anakin Skywalker in Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. Oh, don't forget to buy the books, like and subscribe. Check out the Patreon page as well. And go to the Spring Creator, Teespring, or whatever that is, to get your books and mugs and shirts and hats. All the merch. The preface section, part 1. This is a Christian book. Look it up. This is a Christian book by Srandall Slopez. This is a Christian book by Srandall Slopez. And then finally, the book of the introduction by Srandall Slopez. And the self-check. Do you strive always to do this? By Christian author, educator, evangelist, Srandall Slopez. There you go. Friends, I'll leave you with these words now. Remember, your focus determines your reality. And may the force be with us.